All right, I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rekah, Quadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of Great Millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Salutations out to the elect. All right, I want to do a quick lesson going into this asteroid that's circulating, around the world, known as 3i Atlas. And it's a good possibility that this asteroid may not be an asteroid, it may be a chariot. But these scientists, they claim to have seen, an asteroid with their telescopes. But I don't believe that, it seems to them like an asteroid, but this could be possibly be a large chariot of the Lord. So before I start the video, let's start right here in the book of Psalms 68 and 17. It says, "The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels, and the Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place." You see? So the Lord has chariots, which are mentioned throughout the scriptures. Sometimes they mention as clouds, they mention as chariots, you see? And they mention as other things also. But the point is that the Lord uses chariots, you see, to go to and fro in the earth, to bring judgment on people. The Lord has vehicles that you see, the so-called white man, he calls them UFOs or UAPs, but they're really the chariots of the Lord. You see, this devil, he can't explain what they are. They go beyond, his physics. They go beyond his knowledge. You see, let's start the video and see what this devil's talking about.
Its best look yet at the most exciting outer space object we have seen in years. 3i Atlas, a mysterious interstellar visitor billions of years old, finally making its closest approach to Earth.
And that's a lie. It's not billions of years old. You see, the Earth is only around 7,000 years old. You see, so the devil, he's lying. 7 to 10,000 years old. The Earth is not that old. You see, because if you read in Genesis, the Lord made every the first 1,000 years, he created this, and the first 1,000 years, he created that, you see. And then man was created on the fifth day. And the scriptures also states that a day unto the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as one day. So put the math, put 2 and 2 together. If the world was made, after 7 days, that's only 7,000 years, you see. So the earth is a little over 7,000 years old, less than 10,000 years old, not billions of years, billions of years old. You see, don't let this devil trick you. Do not be deceived with what this devil says. You can't trust everything that comes out of the serpent's mouth.
And giving scientists an opportunity to study it before it gets further and further away.
It's a golden moment because we have as good a view as we're ever going to get.
Showing the object in stunning new detail, like this one from a civilian astrophotographer who says he captured 3i Atlas shooting across the night sky. There's a caveat. Just because it's the closest it'll ever be doesn't mean it's actually that close. It's 170 million miles away, further than the distance between the Earth and the Sun, says NASA astrophysicist Dr. Tom Statler.
If you could get into an Indy car and drive at top speed, 24/7, no brakes, no pit stops, nothing, for your entire life, you might just barely make 170 million miles on the odometer.
3i Atlas was first discovered in July by NASA's massive Atlas telescope, designed to spot potential threats to planetary safety. Most in the scientific community identify...
You heard that? Let's go back and listen to it again. Let's not just pass that.
3i Atlas was first discovered in July by NASA's massive Atlas telescope, designed to spot potential threats to planetary safety.
You see, so the devil used the telescope to spot potential threats for planetary safety, you see. So these devils, they're trying to spot or watch, for threats that come from outer space, see. So why are they doing that? Because they know that the Lord is coming back. It's in their spirit. It's already prophesied. They know. And they're watching for the Lord They're watching for his return, but they don't even know the day or the hour. You see, why would they have? Why would they watch for potential threats for threats against the earth if they don't believe in aliens? You see, or if aliens are just a made up story. If they travel, think about it. If they travel to the moon, which was supposedly a real event that happened, which I doubt it. Then what's the worry? Shouldn't it be safe to travel out of space? Why are they trying to spot, hoping to spot, which I'm pretty sure they're hoping to find, an outer space threat, an alien threat, alien threat. Yeah, they're hoping to find an alien threat, but they're watching. They're watching for the Lord. Don't let them fool you. They know. They know that there's a power out there. They know that the chariots are real. They know it, and they know that the Lord is going to come with the chariots to render judgment, especially to you so-called white people. Let's get this scripture right here. Well, let's continue the video some more, then I'll get another scripture.
Most in the scientific community identify it as an ancient comet from another solar system, but others have theorized it could be alien technology. Harvard theoretical physicist Dr. Avi Loeb leading the charge to examine 3I Atlas's possible alien origins.
We have an obligation as scientists is to figure out the nature of the object.
He's outlined a list of anomalies that could point to an intelligent origin, a trajectory that seems designed to tour planets in the solar system, a dust cloud containing much more nickel than iron. Unlike most comets, its rotation axis seemingly aligned perfectly with the sun, peculiar gas jets pointed directly at the sun instead of away from it, and a path that kind of lines up with the origin of the mysterious, still unexplained WOW radio signal burst detected back in 1977.
My guess is that it's most likely a natural object, but the existence of those anomalies trigger my interest in trying to figure out whether they might represent something else.
Despite the intrigue, most scientists brush off the idea of alien origins.
All of the signatures from day one have been completely consistent with it being a natural body. It's very much like the comets we know and love in our solar system. It's a comet.
Regardless, the eyes of Earth trained on the object.
Well, to your knowledge, it seems like a comet. Just like to your knowledge, the clouds, seem like regular clouds. But we know the Lord maketh the clouds his chariots. Let's get that scripture. This is let's see the clouds. Slovakia. The clouds. This is Psalms. This is the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 104:3. It says, who laid the beams of his chambers in the waters? You see, and those waters talk about what? The waters that separate the firmament from the waters below, the waters on the earth. You see, it says, who maketh the clouds his chariot? You see, the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. So what would seem like a cloud, a chariot could cloak itself, you see, inside the cloud. So how do you know that? How does they know that? How do these Edomites know that those so-called asteroids that they supposedly see are not larger chariots? You see,
hoping to peer back through billions of years in time and space before it's too far away.
All of the asteroids and comets in our own solar system are carrying a little bit of the history of how our Earth and how the other planets changed over time. And this one is carrying some of that same information from another solar system somewhere else, and it's been in an interstellar deep freeze for some number of billions of years. It's an amazing time capsule.
Whether it's an ancient comet or an alien spacecraft or Santa come early, one thing is certain: this interstellar flyby has sparked wonder about the universe before sailing off into the eternity of space.
Yeah, Gotti, I know you. You've got an X-Files poster in your bedroom, I'm sure. But you know what? I talk to NASA people, as you have, and they tell me, listen, there are trillions upon trillions of stars out there. Each star has hundreds or millions of planets. So just mathematically, there's a very high chance that there's life out there somewhere. The question is, are we going to get a glimpse of it? Are we going to get another sighting, another comet? What do you think?
I hope so, and I do. I have a poster. I want to believe, but you keep dashing my hopes with the questions you keep asking, those pesky questions. I saw you asking Jared Isaacman yesterday about aliens. What did he tell you?
He did not dismiss it, dude. He did not dismiss it. Nope.
I know. You and your quest for the answer to the most existential question of our time.
Oh, you devils are going to get an answer. And by the way, little green men don't exist, but the chariots of the lords and the angels, they do exist. Let's end with this scripture right here. This is Ecclesiasticus. Salakia. This is Ecclesiastes. Salakia. Let's see. Verse 9, verse 16. Second Ezra 16, I think. No, I just pulled it up. Salakia. And he graved himself a great mountain. Salakia, bear with me. I just had it pulled up. That's strange. Oh, here it is. Second Ezra 13. Salakia. Now this is the Lord coming back in a large chariot that's as big as a mountain, or it may be bigger. All right, Second Ezra 13. Let's start at verse. Start at verse 1. Second Ezra. Now this is Ezra, Ezra in the Bible, but it's Ezra's in the Apocrypha. This is chapter 13. Let's start at verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night." Okay, this is Ezra. Verse 2, "And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that moved all the waves thereof." And that sea is talking about what? The waters that are above the firmament. Verse 3, "And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven." You see? The thousands of heaven, which the word heaven in the Hebrew is Shemayim. All right. So what I read before in Psalms, what the chariots of the Lord are 20,000, even thousands of angels. You see, and the Lord and that man who's Yahushua waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. You see, so he's coming from above. And whosoever, verse 4, "and whosoever the voice went out of his mouth, and they all burned that heard his voice, like as the earth fell it when it filleth the fire." You see, because those chariots are going to have fire coming from them, like lasers. It says, "And after," it's going to be an all-out invasion. "And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven." You see, from all around the world, from the four winds of heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea, that came out of outer space. "But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew upon it." You see, that large chariot. "But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, but I could not, because it's so large." That Ezra, he couldn't see the end of it because it was so big. "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, but durst fight." You see, because it's devil, you see, the dragon, the Roman Empire, the revised Roman Empire, America, along with these other nations, they're going to try to fight Yahushua when he returns. It says, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war." Verse 10, "But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it were a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath. and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. You see? So Yahushua is going to destroy all these other nations with a chariot fire. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden and innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived. You see? So he's going to come back and destroy, with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, like it says in Revelations. All right. But only dust and smell and the smell of smoke. When I saw, I was afraid. Now this is Ezra. Speaking of the return of Yahushua, how he's going to come in a large chariot. So you devils, you say you see a mysterious object, three-eyed Atlas. You see it as big as they say it is as big as a mountain, or it's hundreds of miles long. I think that's what one news reporter said. Yeah, the Lord is showing you that in the spirit. The Lord is showing you that the earth is going to be invaded with something as big or bigger, with something as big as a mountain or bigger. You see, the Lord is going to approach the earth, and it's going to be an all-out invasion. And you devils, you're not gonna stand a chance. Though you fight, you're gonna lose. All right, I'm gonna end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rekakwadash. Shalom.